Good morning, dear students. Welcome to our lecture of economics, Unit 4, Economic System in Market Economy. For today, we have four topics. One, definition and understanding of market economies, theory and contents of market economy, economic system and market methods, and four, pros and cons of a market economy. We have some key words and key terms, mainly market, free market, capitalist economy, supply, producer, seller, demand, consumer, buyer, price, goods and services, free market economy, monopoly, oligopoly, competition, monopsony, duopsony, and oligopoly. I please you to pay attention to our aims, objectives, and the learning outcome at the end of our today's lecture. Now, according to the references we need to note some books, mainly Introduction to Economics, authored by Simchenko and Albert Weisen, and Principle of Economics of Karl Menger. So, our first question is about the main definition of a concept. What is market economies? You see, in our lecture number 2, we told about first traditional economy, we told about mixed economy, we told about common economy and market economy. Now today, we need to say something about what is market economy. It's very simple to understand that market economy is an economy or is an economic system in which all decisions concerning investment, production, and distribution of goods are made by individuals. That is one of economic system where we meet two very, very, very important concepts. That is the first is the concept of demand and a concept of supply. In another word, we want to tell about seller and consumer. That is, I think, a simple definition of what is market economy. Now, we can take another definition. Market economy is an economic system in which economic decision and the pricing of goods and services are guided by the interaction of a country's individual citizen and business sector. You see, it's very different with, for example, traditional economy, where we haven't a concept of buyer or seller. Next definition we can give today is that market economy is also known as a private sector of economy, or private sector of economy. Economy has a social groups of people living in the same places, and all the relationship between this person must be only private. Okay. Now, market economies can be recognized by the fact that all of investment decisions and the allocation of goods or services are made by negotiations between what we call markets. The definition of markets, it's not easy to give, okay? That's the reason why we must give a best definition of this concept after. Now, market economy is the same, we can say that, is the same as capitalism. But let's start today to give a small difference between market economy and capitalism. First, we said about market economy is a system, okay? Is a system in which main important subject in the society is private sector. That may be household, that may be businessmen or businesswomen, and government with very, very, very limited influence or impact in economic sector. Now, market economy and capitalism have many things in common, mainly in fact that many people tend to use, the same terms for to say about capitalism is a market economy. No, that is not exact, okay? It's not exact. So, when we are going to tell something about market economy, we need to understand a free market economy. Free market, okay? Free market economy. Free market economy is simply economy of market. That is a system in which the commodity price or the price of goods and services are funded by the open market and its consumers. Now, when we said about a consumer, we need to say something about customer or mainly producer, okay? Producer. This type of supply and demand economics, it's only possible when there are free competition or any other kinds of competition between providers and consumers of goods and services. In any market called free, any provider may see a need and meet it, taken only something advantage, maybe we call profit or real income. That's very important to understand that in free market economy, provider need for profit, or we can say benefit. In a free market economy, people are free to do something. For example, to buy or to purchase products. Products they prefer. There are no government decision concerning productive activities or any other people activity. Mainly, when we are going to say about free economy, we must use a classical concept called by Adam Smith and David Ricardo, a laissez-faire economy. Laissez-faire economy. Laissez-faire, you need lettuce to do. There are some, we call in economy a black hand, who can manage anything around. Okay? A concept of black hand who can manage anything around. That is a concept of liberal free market, authored by Adam Smith, David Ricardo, and any other French scientist in 16th, 17th, maybe 18th century after BC. A concept of laissez-faire, liberal or free market economic system. The free market economic system suppose that no central planning system. The government are out from economy. No government impact in any economic decision, mainly in during a productive process, no government impacts, or in any other society or activity. The importance or the role of government is very, very limited, mainly for customs only, or any simple activity around banking, around financing, and anything like that. The concept of laissez-faire economy needs to show some policies. We call laissez-faire policies. In these cases, in free economic market or in a free market economy, all government regulation are prohibited, and only business or private interest are used for the best of private sector of economy. In summary, we can note the next, that free market economics believed that the less involved the government is in the market, the better off market will be, and by, I can say, proxy, society has a whole. You see, if you can make a very small impact note about laissez-faire economy, we can say that laissez-faire economy is founded on the principle that the system is naturally self-regulating. No need government decisions for the good or for the best of the well-being of people, of society, and of economy has a rule, has a same system. The question is about how about our modern market economies. You see, in our modern world, most developed nations are technically mixed economies. You see, mixed economy is that in the society we have some things of common economy and anything has market economy of capitalism. That's the both in the same society. Why? Why these forms of economy is good? Why? First, we can say because they blend free markets with some government interference. That is good to have, for example, a social sector living with a common economy and the market economy has a capitalism. I think that is good. But that is my point of view. That is my point of view. Maybe you have your views, okay, which are different, for example, for mine or for any other economic scientist. Market economy may still engaged in some government intervention, such as price fixing, quotas, for example, and any other regulations means. Most commonly, market economies feature government production of public goods, often has a government monopoly. We can say something about government monopoly because anywhere, mainly in developed or in underdeveloped countries, we have a government monopoly. At any time, public sector can say something about what to produce and when to produce, for whom, and any other decision taken around these main three or four economic basic questions. Now, let's to see now who protect this kind of economic system. Let's say we call or free market economy or only free economic system. One, if you see, let's take a first element, we call the free market competition. Okay. The first question is how much goods and services cost how much. That is only in a free market competition, for example, system. That's very important. The concept of Adam Smith and David Ricardo. This concept was supported by any new classics, mainly Alfred Marshall and John Hicks and other any new classics scientists. A second is when the government shouldn't intervene in the marketplaces. In another word, we say that the government hand out of any economic decisions. That is a second element, okay, of this system. 3. You see, the society thrives in if the economy is left in the, we call the black hand, okay, only private intervention exists only, mainly government intervention, very small government intervention can be accepted. 4, free market competition. The question is how much of each product should be produced. 5, the state or the public sector cannot know what each individual wants. We want to say that in the free market economy, we need for the interference of the needs of the people wants and the quantity of products, goods and services must be or should be produced. The interference, okay? Next, that is any entrepreneur determined for themselves what should be produced only. We have amount of money invested, and according to the plan of commodity production, entrepreneur can say what should be produced, the quantity, the exact quantity of good to produce. Okay, now we give some definitions of market economy. We can give some key takeaways. First, in a market economy, most economic decision making is a downthroat, voluntary transaction according to the law or supply and demand. The law or supply and demand, that is the first very important one in market economy. Okay, let's to understand the law of market and demand, a very important one in market economy. A market economy gives businessmen or businesswomen, we call entrepreneurs, the freedom to do some economic activities for profit. Okay, for profit. The aims of investment activity is to get benefit, to get profit. Next question. Okay, now let's to start our the study of our second question.